Ladies and gentlemen, here we have a video about the volume of a cylinder. We need to make sure we write down this formula. I want to point out that in a cylinder, we've got a circular base and another circular base. And if we remember, the area of a circle is pi r squared. There's our radius. And we have that circle essentially a bunch of times. It keeps overlapping really thin. Imagine like a whole bunch of a piece of paper stacked on top of each other. We would have that h times. So the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times h. So it's just basically the area of the base times your height. Make sure you've got this written down. We're going to go on to the next example. In this next example, we have a cylinder with a radius of 8 centimeters and a height of 11 centimeters. Let's find the volume. Our formula is like our recipe card. We've got to get that out. Every time we're going to write out the formula. And we are going to plug in. Typically, we're instructed to use 3.14 for pi. We're going to do that times radius squared. Radius is 8 squared times your height, which is 11. You can actually just plug this all into your calculator. Of course, you could shorten 8 squared to be 64 because you know that. You end up getting 2,210 and 56 hundredths. But it's volume, which means we need some units. It was centimeters. And volume is always to the third. Area is squared. Volume is to the third because it's three-dimensional. And that is your answer. Let's go ahead and do a different kind of problem. We're still going to use our same formula because it's still a cylinder. And I've got this cylinder here. And I'm going to tell you that the volume of my cylinder is 1,139 and 82 hundredths inches cubed. And I'm going to tell you that the height is 3. So I know this here is 3. What I didn't tell you is what the radius equaled. And so you are going to have to figure that out. So we're going to use the information that we have to just figure out what the radius is. We're going to start with our map and we're going to plug in. So I know volume and I know height, and so I'm going to put numbers there. I don't know radius, so I'm going to leave that as an R. Volume is this long number. We don't have to put the units in. Pi is 3.14. I'm going to put that in parentheses because I have a string of multiplication. I don't want to forget. I don't know R, so I'm going to make it R squared. My height is 3. Okay, now I'm going to kind of do my multiplication in a different order here. I'm going to do 3.14 times 3. Then I've got my R squared. 3.14 times 3 gives me 9 and 42 hundredths. R squared. Of course, I haven't done anything on this side, so I'm going to bring down my big, long number. So I have volume equals, this was pi times your height, times radius squared. And so now we've got to solve for radius squared. I know that it's 9 42/100 times radius squared, so I'm going to divide by 9 42/100. And let's put that in the calculator real fast. Oh, simple number now. It actually gives me 121. Okay, now I have to think what number times itself gives me 121. If that doesn't come to my mind right away, I've got to do the opposite of a squared, take the square root. Square root of 121 is 11. It's actually technically positive or negative 11. But we think we're talking volume here. We can never have negative measurements. So I can only go with my positive number. So radius is 11, and 11 what? Inches. It was just a length, so it's 11 inches. So sometimes you can solve for a radius if you know the volume and the height. In this next example, you're going to solve for the height. And I'm just going to tell you words here. I'm not going to give you any picture. I'm just going to tell you the volume is 2,543 and 4/10. Let's go feet cubed. And the radius is 9 feet. And my question is, what is the height? Okay, I'm thinking, okay, how do I start this? I've got to get my tools, my recipe card. Volume equals pi r squared h. Plug in what we know. Volume is 2,543 and 4/10 equals pi times radius squared times height. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do 3.14 times 9 squared, which is 3.84 times 81. Gives me 254 and 34/100. And now I know this is times h over here. Since it's times h, I'm going to go ahead and divide by 254 and 34/100. Whoa, I see something crazy here. Look, they're almost the same. Okay, that means it's going to be a power of 10. And it is actually just going to be 10. Okay, because I can see the difference in the decimals here. This one's after the 3, and here would be after the 3. So it's 10. And you're done. That gave me just h. So the height is 10, actually not just 10, it is 10 feet. Now you have examples of how to find the volume, how to find the radius, and how to find the height. Use this knowledge to solve all of the problems about the volume of a cylinder. Good luck.